Shabbat Shalom on this Parshat Beholatcha. On this Shabbat Beholatcha, we read of many of the things that Judy already told us about, including Miriam getting stricken and being prayed for by her brother Moshe. And of course, as we begin to keep the candles burning. And we learn from the holy Mea Shiloach, the Ishbitzer Rebbe, that has to do with habitual behavior. To not approach things as if you've done it for the 100th time, but rather as if you've done it for the first time. So, what, you might ask, am I going to be concentrating on today? None of those things. Here are the few psukim, the lines of Torah, that we're going to be looking at right now. Zot asher leviim mi bein 25 shana v'mala v'yavo litzvot tzava b'avoda ohel moed. This is the rule. This is the Torah. Zot HaTorah. That is for the Levim, the holy schleppers, the ones who are doing much of the tasks of keeping the sanctuary moving and grooving in the desert. Now, this is their rule from the time they turn 20 until a later date. They shall participate in the workforce, avodah, in the tent of meeting. Umin bin 50 shana, and from 50 years of age, yashuv, mitzvah avodah. They're going to retire. 50 seems a little young in our day to be retiring, but there are reasons for this, especially for those of you who have back issues, which we will find out in a moment. They shall serve no more, velo ya'avod od. However, at all? Let's find out. ושרת את אחיו ויוהל מועד לשמור משמרת בעבודה לא יעבוד, ככה תעשה ללוויים במשמרותם. They may assist their brother Levites in the tent of meeting. Wait a second. Didn't we just read that they weren't going to be doing any work? Aha! Glad you're paying attention with a close reading of the Torah. They may assist by keeping guard, but they shall perform no labor, no schlepping the holy thing, heavy things around the desert. Thus shall they do in regard to their guard duties. Well, let's see where this goes. Let's repeat that line we just did and take a look at what Rashi says about it. Umi ben 50 shana, from the age of 50 years, yashuv. They're going to rest. They're going to retire. Mitzvah ha'avodah, from the workforce. V'lo ya'avod od. They shall serve no more. Oh, in what way should they not serve? Let's ask Rashi. They shall, it's from the service of bearing loads on the shoulder, but he still returns or may be called upon for closing the temple gates, closing off the gates to the tent of meeting. They may assist their fellow Levites in the tent of meeting. Let's take even a closer look at that. What is this assistance? It is giving advice, Eitzah, which many of us, if not all of us, we do in our daily lives. And where do we get that from? Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our ancestors. Ben 50, at the age of 50, le'etzah. So there are various times in our life that we grow wise, but that's at 40. But at the age of 50, that's where we have acquired enough wisdom to be able to give others advice. And that's what the Levites can do from the age of 50 on. V'sheret et achav ba'ohel moed lishmor mishmeret. Let's repeat that line and take a closer look. They can assist their brother Levites at Echav in the tent of meeting, the Ohel Moed, by keeping guard. Okay, what does the Gerer Rebbe have to say? One of our beloved Hasidic Rebbes. He takes a look at that line. At Eitzah Hazot, Yachol ben 50 latet. This Advice at 50 years is lishmor mishmeret. This is the advice to stand guard and la'amod al hamishmar le'ni'ila sha'arim, and lock the gate in order that others should not enter them. What the heck is he referring to when he says locking the gate? Well, I think I know. He's talking about locking the gates of the experience that one has gone through in order to advise someone else not to do that because it's a bad idea. I learned from my life and now I'm passing on my wisdom. So this might remind you of a story. A story often told by Rabbi Yitzchak Meir Alter of Ger. It is also ascribed to someone else, as you will see if you look on page 2 of the Moshe Siddur. A man once wandered, lost in the forest for many days, not knowing how to get out. Suddenly, he saw another person wandering. He thought to himself, from this person, I will certainly be able to learn the correct way to go. And he called out, Please, hey, tell me what's the way to get out of this forest? To which the other person replied, I'm sorry, I do not know the way. I have wandered in this forest for a long, long time. There is one thing I can tell you. Do not follow the path that I have walked. I am certain that the correct path to walk is the one you must find for yourself. If I knew the way for you, I would take you home. Pirkei Avot, Perek 5, Ben Chamishim le'etza. At 50, one is able to give counsel. In order to give advice, a person needs to be wise, but she or he also needs experience. At 50, a person still has the wisdom that he reached at 40 and now has the experience needed to advise others. Here's a little taste of the breakthrough room experience to come. I have certainly been given much advice in my lifetime. Good advice and not so good advice. But I'm going to concentrate on some good advice that I have been given. First of all, someone once said to me, I don't see what the issue is. Well, that person happened to be Bob Casper. Bob Casper was in a production of Jacques Brel is Alive and Well and Living in Paris with me in college. And Bob was a teacher, at least 15 years older than I, at the middle school. And I explained to him I was having a really hard time deciding what to do with my life. I had been offered a job at the middle school teaching and creating a program in theater and music to roughly 200 kids in the school. At the same time, I was offered a job in Washington, D.C. for the Living Stage Theater Company with a group of theater artists who were looking and working to change the world. Bob said to me, I don't see what the issue is here. You have a choice between working with 200 people with an administration that may or may not have your back, or joining a theater company that will be working and playing to change the world. Here is the theater company, one incarnation of it, and that's me peeking out from behind. So that is one good piece of Eitzah that I received many years ago. Another important piece of advice that I have gotten along the way is from Renee, who in the early 90s told me to start your own band. Well, you see, I was playing with many bands here in the Washington area, playing piano and helping them to rock and roll, as well as playing Jewish music. And oftentimes people would come up to me and ask me for my card, and I couldn't give them my card because I was playing with another band. Renee said to me, no, start your own band. And that's what I did. I started my own band. And here is one incarnation of that band. You might recognize, for those of you who have been to the retreat, two of those people. On the right is Jerry Kunkel, who came and played guitar with us this retreat. And the second from the left is Steve Rosenheim, our drummer, and one who sets up our PA system, who did so again for the fourth time running at the retreat. Well, another piece of Eitzah that Renee, you gave me, see, it's all about Renee, is you might as well be 60 and a rabbi. You knew I was going to say that, Devorah, because I was struggling with whether or not I wanted to enter the rabbinic program. I said to Renee, yeah, but I might not finish until I'm 60 years old. So she gave me a piece of Eitzah of advice. Well, you might as well be 60 and a rabbi. So this is some good advice that I got in my lifetime. And, oh, wait a second. I didn't show you the picture of me serving as a rabbi. This is one of the many weddings where I've served as the Kedushin, the rabbi at the wedding. I like the fact that the couple is smiling. I don't know what I said to them at the time. Well, advice. There is someone who is known as the Pele Yoetz. You see in red there, the Pele Yoetz? Pele is the word for wonder, and Yoetz, advice, is the one who will give wondrous advice. And this is from the book of Isaiah. And the Christian community looks at this line as more than a hint, but proof text about Jesus' coming to be the Messiah. We Jews don't and didn't recognize all of the signs that were needed for Jesus to be recognized as the Messiah. So Isaiah says, Ki yeled yulad lanu ben niten lanu, that a child will be born to us, a child to give, and authority is upon his shoulder, v'yikra shemo Pelet Yoetz, and his name is called Wondrous Advisor. So we are waiting. And in the meantime, what do we have to advise us? Eitz Chaim hi. We have the tree of life, which is Torah. She is a tree of life to those who lay fast, hold on to her, and happy are those to hold her fast. V'tomcheha me'ushar. So while we wait, we bring messianic consciousness to everything that we do. And so, my sweet friends, on this Shabbat B'holatcha, may you be blessed. May the advice that we give and the advice we are given serve to bring us ever closer to a redeemed world. Shabbat Shalom. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Va'areh